So today got off to a very positive start. Prior to us arriving, a room had already been allocated to us and we were going to be working in the chaplain. It's a really nice big space. We were able to get some tables and chairs together so it can be really sort of open. We collected our box from the textiles room, so we had everything ready for when the students arrived. I was a little bit worried when we first started on how it was going to work, whether we were going to be on one-on-one or groups, because there are only 4 students left now and there are 5 volunteers plus Christine and Roger today who was joining us. So I didn't want to miss out on any sort of chances to work with anyone, but as it turned out it was definitely group work today. Christine went and collected the students and we started off by doing a soft critique. So each of the students had the opportunity to talk us through their prototype. So that was good, and it made sure that we could, talk through any discrepancies. We then did an exercise called body storming. Body storming is quite a good technique. What it allowed us to do is role play and figure out whether their designs work or not. Unfortunately, because the bags were paper, we couldn't really act it out correctly. So the method, although I agree with it was sort of lost because, we didn't want to break the prototypes, and obviously, that's the last thing we really wanted. I do think that it would be more beneficial to do once the students have actually made up their first material prototype. I think it'll be really effective then. I did find that overall the sessions feel very slow. I feel as though we could do a lot more in them. I feel as though activities are sort of dragged out and it's a little bit slow. I wish we were speeding things up a little bit and doing more in that time rather than dragging things out. I don't necessarily think that the inmates feel like it's being dragged out, but I certainly think that not only myself but some of the other volunteers are on the same path as me. During this session, Marie was talking to Scott about his bag design. She's an MA fashion student and she's had a lot of experience within the industry. On the opposite side, I have no experience. I've sewn up a couple of pairs of jeans with a bit of needle and thread, but that's about as far as it goes. So when she was talking to Scott about pattern and seam allowance and construction and measurements, I instinctively joined the conversation because I also wanted to know, so that when I go into the textiles room, I'll at least be able to talk the language and know the process. I think I asked a lot of questions, and I think that's important for the students to see that it's okay not to know everything. It's okay to ask questions if you're not sure. I hope that he saw that and it in future will make him feel more comfortable asking questions. That's just an assumption I'm making. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. When we were leaving the prison, we went out a different exit, so we were able to walk through the main hallway where all the inmates walk on mass movement, and it was incredibly cold down there. And Christine said that the reason it's so cold down there is so they don't linger, and it makes sense because it was freezing. There was loads of posters and advertisements and encouragement, reoffending, drug prevention, social and physical elbowing, topic of the month, drawings that the inmates created. The walls, it does feel very school-like, but there's a lot of posters are like a huge thing in the prison, you know. That seems to be the way that they communicate, and word of mouth, and that's how they sort of, you know, get the word out there. So yeah, when I left today, I did feel quite positive. It had been slow, but it had been a good experience. I started thinking about design and the sort of design that I enjoy doing, and when I look back over my college work and my undergrad work, whenever I've had the opportunity, I've always sort of like grasped onto like real subjects. So I've looked at human trafficking, organ trafficking, mental health, synesthesia, and it all revolves around real people. Political, economic, social, they seem to be where I'm really interested. And I think that I was under the impression that my sort of contribution to society and that is by raising awareness. But what this experience has taught me is that you can do so much more. And yes, it is important to raise awareness and get people to understand, but it can also be more effective to actually help those that are going through it. And I really think that this is going to resonate through my work and throughout my practice. I don't necessarily think that I would want to work in a prison myself, but I would love to do something like mentoring or volunteering, or, you know, like after school activity, or something that's working with people, but not my full-time career, just sort of more of a side thing. So that's definitely something to think about in the coming weeks, and what I want my contribution to the Makeright course to be.